Okay. What we're going to show you is how to mod an Xbox 360 controller so you can have fast shooting without any drilling or soldering or anything that can ruin your controller. This is a normal Xbox 360 controller with no extra buttons or anything. Okay, what you're going to need today is a pencil, for like a pencil which you can cut to the size you'd like. I have mine around the tip of my middle finger, same size, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's like a pencil or a small pen that you want to just glue to your whatever you're going to use. You're going to need scissors and a hot glue gun and duct tape. Doesn't have to be duct tape, but duct tape works the best. It can be Scotch tape. It also doesn't have to be hot glue gun. It can be any type of like liquid cement or like tack glue, or as long as it's not like the white school glue, because that really doesn't work very well. It'll fall off. Just heat or a glue gun just works the best because it comes off the easiest. It sticks the hardest and it's less messy, and you can clean it up better. What you're going to want to do first is take a small piece of tape about the size of the top of your finger. It should fit lengthwise, it should fit onto the right trigger, but widthwise you are going to want to cut it so there's a small piece on each side of the trigger that can be folded down, but not too far, so that when you push down, it will not stick. So you're going to want to take your scissors and cut it. Duct tape can be hard to cut sometimes, depending on how sharp your scissors are, which my scissors are old and sucky and did not want to cut, so you can also just rip it by starting cutting it and then just rip it down, because duct tape tends to rip pretty easily. And then you're going to want to do that for both sides of the trigger, and then cut it lengthwise so there's also just a little lip on the very end. Alright, now that you have your tape onto your trigger, it should look something like that, a little bit on each side. Now you're going to want to take your pencil and the hot glue gun. Actually, take the hot glue gun first. And what you're going to do, just put a small strip down the center of the tape. And you're going to want to do this fairly quickly because hot glue tends to dry fast, and you want it to get on as soon as possible because it sticks better. And then you're going to let that dry for like 30 seconds, which I'm going to do a little bit faster, but it doesn't really matter. Just make it so it doesn't fall off by itself. And then you're going to take the glue gun, do a shot of glue on the side of the pencil and the side of the trigger, and then kind of move it over a little bit, and then take the other side and glue it down over there. You don't really have to worry about with hot glue getting it onto your controller, because once it dries it pretty much peels off, but it doesn't peel off the tape, which is better, so that works. At first, you might be thinking it looks really messy and really ugly looking on your controller, but it works really well, and you can always fix it later once the glue is dried. But after you've glued it, it should look something like this, and you really won't be able to use it right away, but once it dries, it really should stick pretty well. Should take about like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes to dry. Totally. Might not think you might. And you want to make sure that it goes all the way down and all the way back up with no stick. And if you're wondering why the tape is under there, because in case you do not like this mod, you can just peel off the tape and all the glue will come off with it because it's all on the tape. And that's pretty much it, other than you can also do one more thing, which is take a small piece of tape, thick piece of tape, doesn't really matter, preferably thick, like roll it up a little bit. You can even like glue over it so it stays standing, and you can glue it so it sticks up to the point where the trigger will come down and stop when it hits it, so it comes up faster rather than if you go all the way down, it tends to slow you down. So you could glue that by putting some more tape around the bottom of the trigger here, kind of put it all the way around, and then just gluing a piece of tape right about there. You can test this while you're playing Xbox and kind of pull the trigger down and see how far down you have to go with your shoot, and then glue it right there. So then it'll stop and come up faster. And the ways you could use this is you can go double trigger, like paintballing, you can trigger double trigger on the end. You can use 2 double fingers, or sometimes people just like use 1 pointer finger. But either way, it doesn't work, doesn't matter. And if you don't want it, you can just peel it off and be done with it. And sometimes you can even just, if you want to, put another piece of tape on the bottom, and if you want to take it off and then just stick it back on again later, it'll still work. If you want to just stop using it for a while or something like that, it should be able to stick back on. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this works for you. If not, then sorry, just look up some other type of video or just buy a controller. But this is just a cheap way of doing it. All these items can be found in pretty much everybody's house, and it works for every controller. It's got to have fast fingers for it to work for you. So, I hope it works for you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you.